Today's guest is a top producer in California, working between the Bay Area and LA, with over 26 years of experience in real estate. Not only he's an icon agent, but also a licensed general contractor who takes pride in transforming properties and making them look outstanding. But his story goes deeper. After a major health wake-up call, he realized the value of what eXp offers, from revenue share to healthcare benefits that truly support agents' lives beyond transactions. Fluent in 3 languages and proudly rooted in his Portuguese heritage, he brings a global perspective to the business and a global message about building freedom while protecting your well-being. Let's welcome Shanne Carvalho. Hello, everybody. This is Nathaly with Unicorn Properties. Today we're going all the way in the West Coast, Bay Area, California, with Shanne here. Thanks for being with us today.
Thank you, Nathaly. Thanks for having me. So yeah, West Coast, the big state of California. I'm here just south of the Bay Area on the Monterey Bay in an area near Santa Cruz, California, specifically Aptos, which is a small little town on the water here on the Monterey Bay, and also do business down in the Los Angeles market, which is a very large market. So I share maybe about 25% of the time down there.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks for having me. Excited to chat with you.
So I'm excited to talk about California real estate, about you, your story, and how you got into real estate. So for those people who don't know you yet in our network, most of our viewers are from other countries sometimes and other agents from all over the world. But who's Shanne? Where are you from originally? You say, I remember you speak 3 languages, but where are you from originally, and how long have you been in real estate?
Yeah, so I actually am the firstborn in the U.S. My parents are immigrants from the Azores Islands off the coast of Portugal. So Portuguese descent. And my first language is Portuguese, second is English, and Spanish is third. So I am trilingual. I grew up in Santa Cruz County here in California. There's a very diverse community, big on agriculture. Grew up, in the Portuguese culture, strong Mexican culture, and went to school, kind of worked through, business, and went to the University of San Jose and just really focused on business. But at some point, someone pulled me aside and said, "Hey, you're always trying to sell me." I was working at the bank and I was working as a merchant teller at Wells Fargo part-time while I was in college. And like, "You're always trying to sell me credit cards and all this stuff to win these contests. You come meet with me after work one of these days so I can tell you about maybe something else you'd be good at." And so this older real estate broker had me come to his office. He's like, "Hey, you're so talented. Why don't you go, get your license? I'll reimburse you for the courses once you pass and stuff." And that's what started my journey. And so 26 years later, here I am, 26 years in real estate. I'm a licensed real estate broker in California, also a licensed general contractor. My dad was a general contractor. So I did mortgage loans, real estate loans out of college, and then progressed into sales. So I focused on sales, and the construction more supports our properties, fixing our properties to list, helping our clients fix their second homes to be like Airbnbs and stocking them and stuff. So I've become pretty much a full service agent and have been pretty much in this industry my whole life. And then, of course, like I mentioned earlier, I'm between here and LA, still mainly live here, do business here. And, I've built a team to support, my business and, my kind of the whole operation. So, I have the real estate, I have a warehouse. We stage our listings, I have a great stager that's contracted that stages our listings. So I have a warehouse, all the furniture and everything. Then I have the construction crew. I have the Sprinter van and stuff so we can carry all the furniture to the listings. And pretty much when you hire us, you pretty much hire us to do pretty much everything. We help you flip your house. And then I'm also, I've become an icon agent with eXp. I'm still a producing agent. And, I actually am also a certified mentor. I mentor and coach some agents. And essentially that's my history. I became an entrepreneur right after college and really never looked back. I've been on my own since I was in my early 20s.
Mm-hmm.
And here I am today, and now really looking to grow the company as well. I'm excited about growth.
Well, that's amazing. It seems like you've gone through every single stage of real estate, and now you have like a full service in California. And it seems like, somebody had to see you and be like, you're going to be good in sales and I can see your potential. How do you see today's talent out there? You've grown quite a big of a team, about almost 50 people. How did it happen? Was it organically? Because I know you're focused on production, but I'm sure at the same time you're attracting others, you're seeing potential in other agents. How did your team go so big?
You know, it's interesting because initially some of the agents were referred from other, agents in the company, like Mike and such who, had people that, some of these agents are not in production. They're in other states or other countries. Like, look, California, Shane's a strong agent. Here's someone you should talk to, consider coming over. And so I had some was referral, some are people that I knew, some are people that just reach out to me, just they're like, hey, or sometimes people like they see what you're doing and they see how you're being successful and they want to know like, what are you doing? Like, and that's how some people have ended here. But I really have focused on the production and doing my business. I had some health setbacks along the way, so it's I really stayed focused on production and just kind of had growth kind of on the back burner, just slowly growing. I'm at a point now where back to 100% health, and really excited to push growth a lot more because I see how much better our opportunity's gotten, and I'm excited also about building this organization because I'm so proud of what the company's done and all the talent around us. It drives me to want to do more in that department.
Mm-hmm. No, that's amazing. And thanks for sharing about your health situation as well, because sometimes we're working in production until our health gets affected. And that's maybe when we think about revenue share and an organization that probably can operate whether you're there or not, or you have the time or the mental clarity to go through that. How has that helped your business, from going from production, recovering, taking time for yourself, and how has the team in your downline helped on that way financially?
Well, it's interesting because before cancer and all this stuff, I was, at 7 Airbnbs, was involved in a couple of retail stores, had an actual production team, had the real estate, had the staging, had the construction. That's just a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's just a lot. It's hard to manage all that. It's hard to be, you can't be like, jack of all trades and master of none, right? I mean, it's hard to be profitable and really be moving ahead. It was, and some things would lose. It was just not a good thing. And then it was stressful.
Mm-hmm.
And like, look, I ended up with cancer of all things, kidney cancer. So it's like I decided when I was recovering from cancer that like, okay, life is short, you get a second chance. Like, where do you really want to focus your energy? How do you simplify your life a little more so you can be super productive and focused and also enjoy life? And I decided to keep, real estate construction and the staging. And, I mean, shoot, getting later in my career too, just started thinking about, I need to build more residual income. This company offers me an opportunity to be able to bring in agents. And, there's a lot of agents that, constantly see what I've done and are curious, like how you're doing it and everything. And so now it's been an opportunity to say, hey, well, instead of just looking in and learning, why don't you just, jump in, plug in, come join us. And, I'll tell you what, one thing that really, aside from revenue share or being able to like, make a percentage of your organization, what really surprised me that came to save the day was my health insurance through eXp. Because most brokerages don't have insurance. You're self-employed, you have your own insurance. I had terrible health insurance before. Well, I was only paying like $300 a month when I got hit with cancer. The insurance has covered all of it, and the 5 year follow-up. Because once you're in cancer protocol, you have to get tested every 6 months for 5 years. So I was almost in stage two. And so it's just like once you're in cancer protocol, even if you're cleared, you just every 6 months to make sure it didn't come back, you do a bunch of tests and all. And so the insurance has covered that. I never realized that, out of everything when I moved to EXP 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago now, or is it 6 years? Anyway, 5, 6 years,
Yeah.
numbers off sometimes. But anyway, regardless, I didn't know that that would become such a large, asset for me. And yeah, that was something very surprising that came in clutch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because when we're self-employed, we don't think about those things because we think we're gonna live forever until life sends us a bill and we're like, oops. By being prepared with those benefits, that definitely made a change.
Yeah. And we're invincible, especially when we're young. We
Yeah,
won't sick, nothing will happen. I won't get sick. Yeah, totally.
yeah. No, I relate with that, but I'm glad that you're sharing this because we sometimes we don't touch on the benefits that we get with EXP, and sometimes we forget or we don't take advantage of it. It's given to us. I mean, we can choose to do it or not, but yeah, for the revenue share part, are you focusing on that more? How do you help your agents stay connected, stay active, let's say, in your organization? And where are they mostly in California or in different parts of the country?
The agents I have, there's a lot in California and then some spread out in some other places. Obviously I haven't gone too deep yet, so I'm not like in a bunch of countries. I'm working on some countries right now, but I have my agents in my downline, and then of course there's all other agents that are part of our group. Um, I've actually not only have I supported our agents, especially the ones that reach out, but then there's even agents that are under some of our other leaders that will reach out for help, even agents in my area. And I always try to help everybody as best as I can. And, what I've enjoyed about the whole group as well is that I love doing referral business. So I built a huge referral network all over our territories, like all over our country, other countries. And I love sending referrals out, getting referrals back. And so aside from just building the organization and it kind of helping, happening organically, I have also leveraged our other partners who have brought in people to, grow the business that way as well.
Hmm. That's amazing because sometimes when we're real estate agents locally, we don't think about, outside our brokerage. Many brokers or agents out there that are in a boutique brokerage, they have some tools, but if you are part of even a franchise that are in different countries, it's harder to send those referrals because you have to go through so many layers of
Mhm.
approval or it gets so complicated that you don't know what is your actual commission.
And they take a cut. They'll take cuts, big cuts too. When you're in the big franchise brokers, I remember just getting hammered, giving away 50, 60%. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I feel like that's what most agents don't even think about referrals because they're like, oh, it takes too long, it's too complicated. I'm gonna get $200, and then you're like, it's not worth the time. But
Yeah.
I think you were mentioning like you had about 40 referrals going out in 1 year, and
Oh, and yeah, 2014, my
that's
little claim to fame. I was won a global award for most outbound referrals I sent out. It
yeah,
was 41 in 2014.
that's good.
And that was, yeah, it was a nice extra bit of income. Of
Yeah,
course, it would have been nice if I was sending those to California because the prices are so much higher, but it was
right.
still nice to make some extra money. It took a phone call and introduction.
Yeah,
And also it also serves the clients. Like, yeah, we make a little referral fee, but honestly, the main reason I'm always trying to take care of people. So I always tell people, take care of people, the money's always going to be there. And so when I make these referrals, I want to make sure I'm putting my clients in good hands in
yeah,
other places. That is the priority. It's nice to make a little bit of money, but really at the end of the day, I just love taking care of people, and that's a really important step because, it's kind of scary out there because in a lot of places it's too easy to get a license, and someone that might have been, flipping burgers or doing something else last week all of a sudden has a license and they're selling you a $2 million house. Like, look, everybody starts somewhere. There's nothing wrong with those jobs, or whatever. But I'm just saying, from an experience perspective, like
yeah.
$2 million house, person that hasn't sold a house, I ended up with them just because they have a license.
Hmm.
Maybe it'll work out, everything will be perfect, but I'm just saying it's like we're in one of those businesses where the entry bar is too low.
Yeah,
And so I like protecting my clients with referrals. But like I said, no hate on starting because we all started at some
yeah.
point. No hate on that. It's just more about, the fact that you want to make sure that you're putting people in good hands because there's some bad characters out there, and there's also people that, they're in it but they don't really care. So it's like it's just, yeah. Like I said, it always goes back to taking care of people. And if you can make some extra money doing it, then it's a blessing.
And as well, yeah. And what I love from eXp at least is the referral platform that makes it so easy. You don't
Mhm.
even have to sign the document right away or fill in the
Mhm.
blanks. All you have to put is the name of the client, and in 3 minutes you have a referral to anywhere in the States, Canada, or around the world, which is pretty awesome. That we have the benefit that for some people it takes so long, and yet they don't have a clarity on how much they're gonna get back in their pockets, even if it's like a small referral, but it's something, right?
Mhm.
So people
Mhm.
prefer that too. Um, and for agent retention, like some teams are getting too big and they kind of lose track of who's in the group and who's not. For you, what has been helping to retain your agents, to keep them motivated? Do you have how's your culture in your organization?
So, I mean, look, we've talked about this, even in our leaders meetings and such. Such an interesting time. It's a tough time in real estate for a lot of people. I mean, I've been doing well. I think that for me, it's been, a good market. But then after 26 years, like I've learned to just always adapt and I'm always hustling. So it's like what I've noticed within my organization and, other people within the Wolfpack is that those people that are being consistent and putting in the effort, they're doing just fine. Those that aren't are maybe struggling. And so, where I've been trying to help with retention is For those that are really, really struggling and you can tell they're really trying hard, then I try to set up one-on-ones and try to just maybe help them, problem solve, try to figure out how things can, be better. Try to give them ways to make extra income, make sure they're plugged into everything they should be plugged into. There's so many easy things that they can have set up in order to be getting business or referrals or anything else. And so I try to help them or guide them in making better decisions for where they're spending their time and effort. Um, and then also with the sake of retention, I also kind of remind them that, for $85 a month,
Yeah.
To have that kind of overhead for your business, it's pretty fantastic. You're not going to really find that anywhere, and to be with such a high level company and be in such a great group. I remind them that the issue is not the group or the brokerage. The issue is their practice of real estate. And so, a lot of times if they want to have honest conversations, they'll circle back and be like, oh, you're right. I need to do this, or I need to do that. Because look, at the end of the day, and I had this talk with somebody the other day on a call, was that, if you are truly doing everything, then, and you're not getting the results, then it might not be for you. Once in a while, it happens. You got the dream, you want to do it, you just quite weren't cut out for it, and that's something to be real about. Now, when people are telling me they're doing everything and getting zero results, the next level to really call them to the carpet is, okay, do me a favor, grab a notebook. For the next week, I want you to write down what you do all day long. Throughout the day, it's like a little journal. I ate breakfast, I worked out, I did this, that. Journal for a week and then give it to me.
Yeah.
All these years, I've gotten one journal back. One.
No.
It was a guy from the Central Valley. He actually gave me his journal back. He's like, you know what? That was helpful. I'm not spending very much time doing my business. Yeah. So, because that's what it comes down to, it's like they don't like when you call them on it. And so that's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the day, we have to remember that, you know, 90% don't make it. 10% do 90% of the business, 90% don't make it. If you want to be one of the 10%, this is what you got to do. Are you willing to do it? Some people at one point will just come clean and be like, I can't, I won't, don't want to do whatever. Fine. But like I said, I mean, if they're trying to fool themselves or whatever, there's ways to call them on it. And then for those that truly are working hard, and like I said earlier, I mean, not to keep repeating, but it's, hey, if you're working hard and you need a hand, I'm always happy to put in the time and see how I can help. So as far as retention, I don't want to retain people that shouldn't be retained. Not that I'm playing God or anything, but it's like I used to call everybody, chase everybody, try to take care of everybody, babysit everybody. It was affecting me. Time is valuable. Why am I wasting my time on people that, if someone's not willing to invest in themselves, then why am I investing in them? If they can't invest in themselves, why am I wasting my time? So when I think about retention, I have become a lot more realistic about what retention means to me. When I first started, retention meant let's try and keep 80 or 90% of them. No. If you can even keep half and they're productive, then you've done well, right? When you look at the statistics in the market, right?
Yeah. And I think with the training and the support that the Wolfpack brings to the table, in our group, even if you're not, if you're focused on production, they can still plug into the calls that we have weekly for production. And in that way, they can still, follow their own path, either for production in their city, in their state or country, or agent attraction or social media and whatever clicks with them. But there's no excuses. All information is out there. It's a matter of them grabbing it and getting it. So for California, it seems like you have a very good network. You have most things figured out. For agents out there that are newer or thinking about changing brokerages, do you do any mentorship right now in your market? Do you have them shadow you or teach them anything in person, or how does your organization what can people expect when they get to meet you and want to work with you?
Well, what I've been doing is, so I was running like a monthly mastermind, for kind of our whole group and everything. And then I had some health issues and stuff, so I kind of slowed down on that for a while. And just really just would focus more on one-on-one what people had going on. Now that we've really ramped up, I've been, doing some masterminds, and that's an option. But one thing I love to do is I love to set up 30-minute like just crash calls like each week. Like let's jump on a call, and then if for some reason that week they're good and they don't need to jump on, they'll just text me and be like, I don't need to call today, but I'll slot some time with these agents that really want to excel. And I've also been good now because we have so much talent within our group. If there's agents that are really wanting to do like more luxury or more like AI or more this or more that, I'm plugging them in as well with our, brothers and sisters of the Wolfpack that may be strong in those categories that maybe are not things that I, do for myself. So I've been, just also leveraging, the rock stars within our group that are rock stars in those different segments.
That's awesome because then everybody can find their pocket of whatever they're interested or good at. And with the Wolfpack, they can, it's like we adopt each other's childs based on their interest. At least for
Yeah.
people come from international. And I'm like, yeah, bring them on because I like the more the better. So, and
Oh,
that's
totally.
production too, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. So, how can people find you online so they can reach out directly? What are your handles in Instagram?
Yeah, so I'll
YouTube?
have you share them after, but I mean, I'll just tell you, like for me, where I seem to get a lot of communication on basically Instagram. I get a lot of communication on Instagram. In fact, I've met clients, agents, etc. So Shanne Carvalho underscore RE underscore team. That's the handle for Instagram. Now, WhatsApp and my mobile number are the same. It's 831-588-2374. That's a good way to message or talk. I mean, it's hard to keep up with email sometimes because I get spammed so much. So it's like someone wants to send an email, it's just good to just text me, be like, hey, I'm going to send you this email because I hate to miss emails. But anyway, getting messages on those three platforms is probably the best way to reach out. And yeah, I'm always happy to jump on calls and answer questions, meet people, network, do referrals, help however I can. I like to pay it forward. I mean, there's people that help me along my journey. And I'd like to be able to bless other people as well, with anything I can do to help them on their journeys. Because, especially starting out, we all, like I said earlier, we all had a day one.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and I mean, like for the newer agents that are either in California that are looking at, watching this video, they can reach out to you directly. Maybe or we can do a three-way call if you're interested. California international real estate, and maybe expanding your business from where you are. Other people are leaving. I heard California to go to Texas, to go to Arizona. Has the market been shifting for you too? Just out of curiosity. And
we see a lot of people leaving California more than ever. About 75% of my listings have been leaving out of state.
yeah,
And so I have been doing a lot of business with our Wolfpack in a lot of other states. So yeah, you see Arizona, you see Texas, you see Florida, you see Idaho. It's weird because you've been seeing some more people going up to Oregon. Usually people are going more to the south, south, southeast, but I've been seeing people even going to like Oregon, and then even Idaho again lately, because Idaho for a while, a lot of people went there. So there's different states that people are migrating to. And so yeah, and as far as our market here, how our market's doing, it's in pockets. Certain areas, things are gone the first day with multiple offers. Other areas, things are sitting 30, 60, 90 days, depending on how they're priced and presentation. So there are some soft markets where people are having a hard time selling for what they bought for a couple of years ago. So it's a mixed bag. I mean, the Bay Area is still crazy for the most part. And like I'm putting a listing on tonight in the Bay Area that's going to have an offer deadline next week.
okay,
And it's a $2 million listing, but I mean, 2 million is kind of like in the middle of the market there, and they go like hotcakes.
yeah, that's amazing. And how has the international migration come to California? Do you still have people from different countries? I mean, I can see.
Yeah, we do get people from other countries. It's interesting because, like for instance, being of Portuguese descent and such, a lot of Portuguese people have been going back to the old country that came years ago as immigrants, and then even then, there's some immigrants that are still coming to the U.S. I've had in different countries. I mean, I've had some different folks from different parts of Asia that have been moving into the area, wanting to make investments. I had a family recently who they want to send their daughter to school here. They're looking for like an investment property for her. And so, and the other thing too is that like for with Portugal, because I do have agents in Portugal that I work with. I mean, we've been doing referrals back and forth because last year, Portugal, over 10% of its real estate was bought by US citizens, which is crazy. But
Yeah.
there's a huge connection there. So it's like I've been spending a lot more time working with agents in Portugal. I mean, there's primarily one agent, in Lisbon that I work with, Vera, and she's, we do some stuff together online and stuff, and she's really on top of it in that market, and she's been a great resource for me.
Awesome. Yeah, no, I like that the migration patterns have been changing the last few years, especially during COVID and after COVID. And coming in, living big states, but it's a good opportunity for anybody that maybe right now there is maybe a hot market to buy in California since people are leaving. And it's a great referral market for you. So, as people leave the state, you can still send those referrals out.
Yeah, and well, there's an opportunity. And honestly, here in the state right now, there's opportunities for both buyers and sellers. It's not limited. I mean, there's definitely opportunities for both.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your knowledge today. I'm going to put all your links below. Now you know how to find anybody who has questions for Shanne. You'll find his Instagram and phone number in the description. Thanks again, Shanne, for your time, and appreciate it.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
Hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Our intention is for you to get inspired and just take your business to the next level. We just share tips, and if anything like we share resonates with you, you want to take your business global, you want to expand to other cities and states without the effort of incorporating every single state, and also you want to expand to other countries, you might want to chat with us. Maybe we can help you doing the step-by-step plan to get to that goal. If you want to have a group call between 3 of us or just have a one-on-one with me, I'm happy to connect. My calendar will be in the link below. And also, you can always text us or call us, and we'll be able to chat more about what are the needs that you have right now in your business and how we can cater to that with our platform. That's it for today. Stay tuned, and we'll see you guys in the next video.